Things that we all know about Lance. He will always make you laugh. He'll make you roll your eyes and shake your head. But you'll never say, I can't believe you just said that. But you'll always say, that's only something Lance would do. Did you know that Lance has a list of jokes and responses in his phone? So if he ever needs to make somebody laugh, he just looks it up. As we always know, there's always a venture around the corner with Lance. One day he'd say, hey, Sheree, do you want to go hang gliding? And I'd say, sure, what else am I doing today? And then he'd be, hey, Sheree, do you want to jump out of a plane? I'd be like, sure, why not? I'm still waiting for the air balloon ride, but that's okay, because no matter what I do with him, I always know from the day I was born until forever that he will never do me wrong. When we were growing up, Lance always did great things for me. He cared all about my fashion sense, so he cut all my hair off really short. He made sure that I was nice and warm, so he stuck me in the dryer and turned it on. But so kindly didn't close the door so that I was safe. He always included me in his late night walks and used me for his lookout when he did slightly illegal things. He always wanted me to be the center of attention, so on my 19th birthday, while me and two of my friends were dancing on the floor, the DJ sent me a heartfelt message that said, Sheree, would you do up your fly? I'm still seeking therapy for that one. He took me on adventures to help me carry all the house signs that we'd steal from the houses that were for sale in the neighborhood. We'd stick them in front of our elementary school, and it was always so fun the next day when we went to school and we were the talk, but nobody knew we did it. He helped me groom my hair by putting an epilady, one of those hair removal machines, in my hair. Not once, but twice. But no matter what, we were the best lip sync duo for Will Smith you've ever seen. As we all know, Lance loves Ellen DeGeneres and one day hopes to be on a show, which I don't doubt for a second that you will be, Lance, because you are the type of person that everything that you imagine and you truly want, you get. And he works hard. He works hard to achieve these things. And as great or as silly as it is, he dreams up the most amazing things, and I'm so proud of him for everything that he's accomplished. I believe that you haven't even touched the top of the iceberg of what you will achieve in your life. And I'm just so thankful that you bring us all into your world to be part of that. Sometimes it's the craziest thing, and sometimes it just blows my mind. I just wonder, how much more can he do? And yet every day, you show us more. Above all, Lance, you are my inspiration. You're an inspiration to your children. You're an inspiration to so many people in this room. The things that you do consistently amaze me, and I truly believe there are no limits for you. Actually, most of the time, there are no limits for you. But I love you because of it. And I love you because from the beginning to the end, I know it will always be you and me. So to Melissa. The first time I met Melissa, and her and Lance randomly stopped at my house one night, and I was sitting wrapping presents and watching a movie. They immediately sat down, and all she wanted to do was help me wrap presents. And I thought it was kind of neat, because instead of spending their evening going to do something else, they just hung out with me. So I knew two things right there and there about Melissa. She wanted to hang out with me. That was super exciting because Lance and I are so close. And she loved to wrap presents. So I no longer had to do it for Lance. It was amazing. But unfortunately, Melissa disappeared for a few years. Timing wasn't right, but that's okay. She needed to go have Nicholas. And eventually, she looped back around and landed into Lance's arms. So to Melissa, you are now there in his arms, and you are his love, you are his life, and you are his forever, his wife. Welcome to the family. And finally, to the happy couple, I just want to leave you with this. You like somebody because of their qualities, but you love someone despite some of their qualities. And just know that love is stronger than all of us, so as long as your love stays strong, you will conquer forever. Love you both. Congratulations. Oh, wait, just a minute. I got a surprise for you.
Yo, I'm Scott, aka Master Scott.
And I'm Darren, aka Beamer.
Since we are Lance's longest running friends, he was so kind to request us to give a speech at this wonderful occasion on 1 week's notice.
Respectfully, we both declined, to be honest, because we were scared shitless.
And considering we both got booted from the wedding party, I really thought we dodged the bullet.
Not to mention, I don't think there's enough alcohol in this place to get us up there.
Well, after further thought, we decided to make this video as we just couldn't give up the opportunity to roast his ass for the second time as he did to both of us at our weddings.
Also, to spare ourselves the blurred vision,
Tremors,
sweating,
watery eyes,
upset stomach,
and the diarrhea that comes with speaking in front of others.
I met Lance first at grade 8 at Johnson Heights Secondary. Unfortunately, the one thing we had in common was the fact that we were both the smallest kids in the school. So much so, this is what brought us together, as the bigger, cooler kids always try to get us to fight. Instead, Lance and I became best friends.
And I first met Lance when I was approximately 7 years old and my brother joined Beavers. I didn't actually get to know him until I was 8 and joined Cubs myself. Together, this means we have known Lance for over 73 years. Wow.
The three of us grew close and were inseparable throughout most of our teenage years, even into adulthood.
As you can imagine, we have experienced a great deal together and thus have lots of interesting and maybe incriminating stories we would like to share. After all, it's Lance's fault for asking us in the first place. So here we go.
You may have noticed in our opening introductions, we've made reference to our nicknames.
These are the names that Roz would commonly refer to us by, and still does to this day.
While the rationales as to why we acquired our respective nicknames are unimportant, we thought you may be interested in hearing about Lance's.
We remain uncertain as to why he received his nickname. Maybe it was his striking resemblance to this late 80s sitcom character, Alf.
Not Magnum,
Bo or Luke,
the Fresh Prince,
Kojak,
Faceman,
He-Man,
or even Optimus, but Alf, a short, funny-looking furry alien.
Yep, never really figured that one out.
Back there. Growing up, I guess you can say Lance was a bit of a late bloomer. Physically, but mentally he was always seemed to be one step ahead of us. At least, so he thought.
The lack of armpit hair had to be compensated for somehow. And maybe this is where his love from business sprouted from.
Yes, he's always been angling for a way, anyway, to make a buck.
Like the night of our yearly Halloween bottle rocket fight, when I inadvertently set off my entire brick of bottle rockets at once.
Yeah, the brick you were so kind to sell to Lance at your cost.
And Lance was kind enough to sell me some back at 3 times the cost.
In addition to his quest for success, Lance was forever trying to gain a competitive edge, whether it was playing Nintendo or going to car shows.
Oh, like the time I showed up at the IGA parking lot to meet the car club before traveling to our next show, only to find the beautiful airbrush painting I so vividly explained to Lance on the hood of his car instead of mine.
Yeah, like that time. But didn't you go on to win Car of the Year?
I did. even with a silly-looking clown airbrushed on my hood as my idea had been taken. But enough about me.
As you all know, Lance has a great sense of humor. He's always joking, in fact, and often beats you to the punchline.
I can remember one instance at Subway where this came to fruition. I had just taken a bite of my sub when I reached my hand out to Lance, asking, "Why can't you masturbate with this hand?" Lance quickly responded before I finished asking, "Because it's yours." And all hell broke loose. Or should I say, everything in my mouth was launched as we began laughing hysterically.
That's easy for you to say, as Bert and I were showered by the contents of your mouth. And Lance strategically sitting beside you, busting a gut as he's outside the line of fire.
Well, I think Melissa might appreciate learning just how committed and loyal Lance is to his woman when faced with adversity.
You mean the time his girlfriend left him and started dating Bert?
Yep. Lance was so hell-bent on getting her back that he summons the two of us. We piled into his car and drove off to confront Bert at his house.
Once there, Scott and I gave him our grad rings, so now Lance is wearing 3 grad rings on his right hand to take care of business when confronting Bert.
What Lance didn't know when we were hiding in the bushes waiting on Bert was the fact that the two of us were both secretly praying that Bert didn't come out, as he would have kicked all 3 of our asses.
Well, luckily he never came out and we left without conflict.
Since we were on the topic of girls, how about that night of rumors?
You mean the one we were all shit-faced, for lack of a better term, and Lance wound up leaving with a more mature woman?
That's the one. As we were all getting sick after the club, Lance was up for what he thought was going to be the night of his life.
The next day, the only thing he could elaborate on was the fact that she kept telling him, "The harder you pull, the wilder the ride."
We'll leave it up to you to interpret what that means.
Don't worry, Melissa. The ride only lasted 2 minutes.
Moving along, I think we should take this opportunity to thank Lance for teaching us how to drive.
When we were 15. So I guess we should say sorry to Roz, because we used her car.
Sorry. Then there was the barbarian coolers and apple cider. Lance was so kind as to introduce us to both of these, while we were under the age, of course.
Yeah, he was. And although we originally had some really rough nights, as we matured, we had some pretty memorable nights playing Nintendo.
Or getting up to no good, wandering the streets of Surrey throughout the night. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
If you're looking to purchase a radar detector or some 6x9s, talk to Lance.
All kidding aside, Lance has always been a great friend and a stand-up guy.
He's always had our backs and has gone to bat for both of us.
We have truly been blessed to have had him in our lives and feel extremely honored to have had the privilege to do this.
Lance and Melissa, we are so happy that the both of you have found your people and are finally pulling the trigger.
We wish the two of you nothing but health, happiness, and success in the years to come.
Hopefully we haven't offended anyone. However, if we have, talk to Lance.
Peace out.
Shit.
Oh, just a minute. There's one more. Wait for it. Here it comes.
Hello, Lance and Melissa. Congratulations on this big day. This is Andy Lassner from the Ellen DeGeneres Show. First of all, thank you for inviting Ellen to the wedding. You lucked out by having her not come. She would probably scare you. She'd be mean to you. I may be thinking of how she treats me, but still. It was very sweet of you to invite her. It would have been the worst thing for you to invite me because I would have showed up, but whatever. Ellen's a bigger name, I guess. Ellen's funny because she tortures Andy. Ellen's funny because she sends me through haunted houses. Isn't Ellen the greatest? Nah, she is. Anyway, congratulations on your wedding. What an exciting, exciting time in life. I remember the day I got married, and then I got divorced. But then I got married again, and now it's going great the second time. So, forget the first one. I wish you only good luck, lots of love, lots of happiness, lots of joy, lots of laughing, lots of Ellen not scaring you, lots of Ellen not torturing you, because that's my life and it's hell. Anyway, love you guys, wishing you only the best on this very, very special day. Mazel tov, as me and my Jewish friends would say. God bless.